We are awash in doctors today, which means then that the morning scramble is going to be responsible for levels of your health. Dr. Penny Bowen, not just a radiologist, but a
musculoskeletal radiologist. So my specialty is musculoskeletal injuries.
Did you notice how I adroitly avoided having to use the prefix and all of those syllables? Look, in this weather, Dr. Bowen, everyone wants to work out. Everyone does some kind of working out. How do we prevent injuries, though, from doing it badly?
That's a good question. I've definitely seen a rise in exercise-related injuries in my practice at DI Medical Imaging. I've got some great tips for you, though, especially if you haven't exercised for a while. I think it's really important to have a physical examination with your doctor to have an understanding of how ready you are and what your involvement should be with exercise. Also, if you're trying something new, a new exercise, a new sport, it's a great idea to consult a personal trainer or coach to learn how to do it right for everyone.
It doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily try out for the Olympics.
No.
But maybe you were talking about a new sport and you think you're in pretty good shape. But all of a sudden you can go even as benign as bowling might be and pull something.
Absolutely.
Well, what do we do once again to prevent it? Is stretching a good idea?
Every time you exercise, you need to warm up thoroughly and definitely stretch. That's a key in preventing injury.
Okay, here is the question that everybody wants to know the answer to. So the pressure is on. If I do hurt myself to some degree or another, if I just have an ache over here or my knee doesn't feel too good, what about heat or ice?
Oh, good question. For acute injuries, we always recommend icing the injury. The idea behind ice is that it constricts the blood vessels, which reduces swelling and actually reduces bleeding in the tissues. So acute injury equals ice. If you have a chronic injury, that's when you want to apply heat. Heat actually opens the blood vessels, relaxes the muscles, and has a soothing effect.
All right, and by heat, are we talking about just something as ordinary as a heating pad?
Definitely, you can use hot towels, you can use a heating pad. They've got these great devices you can put in your microwave that have beans inside of them. And we recommend that for both heat and ice, that you only do it for 20 minutes at a time so you avoid damage to your skin.
That's how I feel about exercise, 20 minutes at a time. Don't start talking to me about 5Ks and things like that. My producer is a runner. I don't know whether you know that.
No, I didn't.
Laura is out with all of these charity runs, and I'm proud of her. But for crying out loud, when you're talking about that kind of stress, you can hurt yourself, can't you?
Definitely. So that's why it's recommended that even if you have a rigorous exercise program, you give yourself a break of at least one day every week in order to avoid overuse injuries. Also, you should consider cross-training. That helps reduce that type of injury as well.
Okay, how will I know what to do and what's going to be good for me, though? Who do I talk to?
Well, you can definitely talk to your doctor, and if you have a personal trainer, that's another great resource for you.
You want to talk to me about some of the things that you brought? Now, obviously, we're talking about an ice pack.
Yeah. So again, ice for acute injury. We've got a foam roller here. This is a common tool to help you stretch out, especially your lower back and your legs. We've got a heating pad here for those chronic type injuries to help soothe muscles and joints. These are some medications that are often used for people with arthritis or joint pain: glucosamine and chondroitin. These are actually naturally found in cartilage.
Well, I see this in ads. I hear about it on the radio and the television commercials and so on. So I was just proud to be able to pronounce glucosamine. But does it work?
Not all experts agree. Some people feel that glucosamine has an anti-inflammatory effect about the same of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, and that chondroitin has a pain-relieving effect, again on par with non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. The key with glucosamine and chondroitin is that these medications are considered very safe. They have a very low side effect profile. So unlike things like aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen, which you can get into trouble with things like ulcers and bleeding problems, these have very low risk of a side effect. So they may not work for everyone, but if you give it a try and it works for you, it's generally a very safe medication.
Before I run out of time, because I could talk to you about this all day long, because there's so many myths out there about working out and taking care of ourselves. Near the top of the list, weights. who should lift them, who shouldn't lift them, and how heavy should they be?
Oh, that's a tough question. That's really a tough question. It falls in the same category as who should do high-impact aerobic exercise and who should fall into the low impact. Things like high-impact aerobic exercises and lifting heavy weights are usually for people with more advanced physical fitness. It helps build bone mass. One of the benefits that I see at EVDI is we follow people with DEXA scans. We can actually see the benefit of exercise in increasing bone mass.
And talk to your doctor.
And talk to your doctor.
That's the bottom line, isn't it? So all of those things, make sure your doctor comes in and looks like he's in better shape than you are. This is Pat McMahon in the Morning Scramble. I hope you're feeling better.